But regardless, we're going to be jumping into game number 3.
Up in the top right corner, had a clean win in game number 1, a clean loss in game number 2. He has one more chance to try to pull it off. It's EG's PuMa.
And down to the bottom left-hand corner here, spawning on Cloud Kingdom, as our Red Terran. He goes by the name of Millennium's ForGG.
That was such a fast series. I mean,
yeah, it was.
Hardly even time to process how adjustments should be made. And you know, we were actually talking a lot about that idea of if you have some crazy builds planned and you have a stupid loss in game 1 of a series, do you pull back to normal play? Do you trust in your preparation and expect it to be able to succeed in the following games? I really like the fact that ForGG did a kind of a weird play, but a really stable one in game 2.
Yeah, I think that we're not really going to see any kind of deviation, actually. I think, there we go, there's gas first straight off. ForGG, he likes this aggressive style. You know, why not go for that? Why not be able to bring that in to the play? And if it's worked for you once, well, then again, he's got a 50-50. Wait a minute.
Oh, PuMa is doing a little bit of craziness of his own. He's going to need to throw down that very swift refinery, be able to get himself up pretty fast Marauder push. I love fast Marauder pushes in this matchup. In the fast Marauder push, you have to follow up with a factory as PuMa, and then you have to follow that up with a starport. So your follow-up is pretty clear, but that doesn't make it weak as all. We'll see PuMa opening up. I mean, he could open up Reaper, but will still much more often be the Marauder straight into Banshee play. Such a fun style to watch. What a cool TVT we're watching, Lars.
Yeah, too true, man. It's Marauder's just going up against the initial units that Terran has out. What does Terran go for? They go for, you know, 1 or 2 Marines. They go for, you know, potential Hellions in the case of ForGG. Neither of which really has too good a time in low numbers against Marauders. Marauders big, bulky, they're dealing damage, you know, quite slowly against both units, but because they're so bulky, because they've got so much HP, they don't die too quickly to, you know, Marines nibbling away at their toes.
Yeah, I mean, the fact with that concussive shell, you can get the shot off on the Marine and back up in time to where the faster fire rate of the Marine doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So early Marauder, no. Oh man, PuMa is just giggling to himself. He sees that. He would have loved to see that early tech lab. He does lose the SCV, but PuMa must wait for this concussive shell to be done. Otherwise, he sacrifices the edge that he gains from these.
Yep.
We're seeing the wall off from PuMa. No gas guys are quite yet, but again, following it up with Factory and then Banshee is going to be PuMa's play.
Yep, and the third Marauder now queued up here to be able to continue with this Blue Flame Hellion.
Again.
And Hellion and the problem with this is, you know, with Blue Flame there, this is in essence wasting minerals right now, because despite, even if it does end up finishing, it's still not doing damage, bonus damage to Marauders. Oh, nice spot.
And there, it looks like he sees it. He immediately turns around to run. Will he respond by building tanks? He is. He builds the tanks, he cancels. Marines in production right now, and look at this. PuMa calmly takes shots at the bunker. He's going to make sure that he can't get surrounded, and this is exactly what PuMa needs to avoid. We see the Hellion now stepping into action, and one of those Marauders gets surrounded very easily.
Yeah, meanwhile, the 2 Marauders trying to macro back as much as they can do, trying to focus down some of those harder hitting units there, as opposed to the SCVs as they try to wiggle their way around them. One more gets picked off here. That bunker does not finish up and will be forced to cancel. So ForGG, despite the position he was in, not too bad a defense at all.
Wow, ForGG, I mean, God, those Marauders were just a little bit too far to the right. He needed to avoid that. And look at this, going right back into the Blue Flame business.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you know your opponent must be following up with some sort of factory play. He can't be focusing on barracks play because, well, if you're going to go barracks and then lift it off and float it away to the opposite corner of the map, that's a pretty weak way to go barracks. There's the factory going down. Most commonly, you'll see the Banshee follow up. So what do you do as ForGG? You just expand, build your delayed starport in the exact way that we saw in the last game. And, I mean, I honestly think that ForGG is in magnificent condition to take a clean win.
Yeah, he could be indeed. And, I mean, if he goes for, you know, if he actually, does he know that this wall is up just yet for PuMa? No, he does not. So he won't be able to just, you know, dart in there like he did in game number 2. So he may, you know, want to mix in a medevac with that if he wants to really get aggressive with this Blue Flame style. But again, as you said, getting that command center up, he can just macro up to his heart's content here. And there's not a whole lot of aggression PuMa can put on after seeing that there is a starport on the way with this burning barracks, and he's going to land it.
Yeah, I mean, most generally, in PuMa's shoes, you're kind of going, ugh, you have to do this. You absolutely must. In PuMa's shoes, it might be wise to build another command center and just say, well, you know what, I'm behind, may as well follow up with it. Yeah. And look at this, PuMa actually, did he get scanned here? I'm curious what was all the cancel hubbub about?
Oh, and he's going for Blue Flame as well here. So Hellion production beginning, along with that Viking, just in case his opponent is going for some kind of Banshee play. But as you rightly pointed out earlier, ForGG, you knew that the follow-up to that kind of play was Banshee play. ForGG undoubtedly knew that that was the kind of follow-up, so getting that Viking out very, very quickly and rapidly here.
I think that's a good assumption that ForGG knows a little bit better of TBT than I do.
Maybe.
I'm sure he's reading a lot more into what his opponent can be up to, because last game we saw that these Hellions were getting ready to be quite a bit more active, but ForGG still patiently playing back, still not really risking that much in mid-map.
And for now, we have plenty of SCVs on the way. The Raven coming down once again. And as you rightly called, third command center, day 9, you are some kind of oracle.
It's almost as though I do this for a living.
It is. I'm so impressed. Anyway, now, what else do we have going on? Extra bunk Marines on the way from barracks here at the back. And actually, his initial barracks died off. So, ooh, a second factory. Hello. Maybe some mech play transition.
Good old Mechalicious coming out of PuMa. Don't dislike this play at all. There's sort of the assumption on PuMa's part, I must have a gas lead because I went gas first. PuMa, fortunately, does have a little bit of a resource lead at this point in time. He has a few more workers, just a little bit more. But I'm still worried for this expansion attempt from PuMa. Fortunately, he's going to see these Blue Flame Hellions moving in. He better lift. He better frickin' lift. He better lift that up. He just salvaged the bunker.
Oh! That was way too close. I almost had a panic attack. As for now, PuMa does actually have those Hellions on the field. We need to keep those safe, though. 3 Hellions against 7 Hellions, never the best of engagements there, if PuMa was to end up engaging there. And for now, just so many Hellions going to be in production here for PuMa.
ForGG now backing up and just doing his Viking Raven, still adding on Vikings. I think that's the essential play for ForGG in this circumstance. I mean, in ForGG's shoes, you feel like you have the advantage. Most importantly, you have the advantage on the map. You can move your Hellions farther forward, which means you can siege your tanks up farther forward to your opponents. Yeah. The only way to exploit that edge is to have the lead in Vikings then, so that way you can continue to outrange your opponent's tanks, even if they have more.
I am so impressed that we're going to see mech versus mech. If this game goes long, then ForGG is going to be playing one of the first macro games that I have seen him play for quite a while, actually.
Ooh. Could have been very dicey. Just 2 more Hellions would have been enough to break the front.
For now, PuMa just establishing himself at his natural income tab right now. Just show not really too much of a disparity. The mule timings were just a little bit off there between both of the players. 39 workers to 39 workers, almost identical, heading up to that 42 now. And with the weapons upgrades already starting here for PuMa on that 1 armory, if this gets a little bit, if this gets out of hand for PuMa in terms of these upgrades, it can get a bit dicey for ForGG, but he has taken that supply advantage for now.
Because hindsight's really a fun thing to rely on. Yeah. Oh, nice engagement here for PuMa, actually getting the chance to pick off some of these Hellions. Doesn't want to risk going up the ramp and lining himself up.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, I like this decision from PuMa to go for this mech after he saw that his opponent was also going for this Hellion-based play, because there's really no way to break down a pretty simple wall off if there's anything significant on the other side. PuMa clearly had the time, but right now the biggest issue is the food. ForGG is leading by a long shot.
PuMa has been spotted down in the southern position here with the Hellions, and there's so many Hellions there for ForGG. He's going to be able to get a very nice few volleys off here against some of those Hellions, killing off around 3 or 4 of them there. And now, I mean, right now it's 19 Hellions to 8, but Siege Tech has finished up for PuMa, and he's adding on those Thors. So he's got a nice bulky defense here, but he can't really move out and control any of the map whilst ForGG has this presence.
I mean, even at times like this, you can do weird things where you construct buildings like barracks and places to re-wall off. ForGG, though, has complete and total map control. This is why ForGG was flooding with these Hellions. As he's rebolstering with these tanks, he can move as far forward on the map as he wants. PuMa has to stay holed up back by his own base.
Yep, and for now, this third base is almost going to certainly have to lift off here and fly back to the safety of the main, as those siege tanks are going to establish themselves really, really nice position in this location. And it's even under fire here. He needs to lift up, and
whoa,
the Vikings!
The Vikings are going to show up. Oh, he's going to lose his third command center for absolutely nothing.
Oh, dear me, that is brutal there for PuMa right now, as the siege tanks get a nice position, but there's a few siege tanks for PuMa actually pushing up here. Hellions going to try and poke forwards to try and soak up a little bit of damage, whilst maybe he tries to re-establish himself a little bit of position fire down on this location. But look how much control ForGG now has over this location, and from here he might be able to secure his own third.
Just obliterating this front line. Oh, look at this auto turrets in the main base trying to pick off a single tank, and it looks like they're actually going to be successful. Oh, he takes it down with a few seconds to spare. PuMa can't really afford to build any Vikings at all. He's going to have to rely on Thors to be able to repel these Vikings. And again, the only way to get an advantage over a tank versus tank battle is by having these Vikings. Yeah, it was hilarious, man. He just lifted that up, and see you later factory, and it might be see you later starport. By the same token, he will...
He's repairing. Yeah, he saves it. Sorry, I don't know why that tickled me so bad. Just... I'll lift it up, I'll save it. Yeah. That's okay. So for now, he will move forwards here. He has the map. Oh, he's just going to push straight forwards. He has so many Hellions to soak up, so a lot of damage here. And even landing the Vikings, ripping apart the tanks and Thors in that location, taking a lot of damage from the high ground, but he sieges up to be able to demolish those tanks as well.
The most aggressive mech we're seeing out of ForGG. He's almost playing it like it's Marine Marauder, just blasting down the front doors.
I mean, if anyone was going to play mech like this, it is ForGG. He is such an aggressive little tenacious Terran, and he is going to start moving up closer and closer to this second. But look at this PuMa actually taking a base up to the top left-hand corner whilst all this is going on. And I actually think that's a pretty good move considering the position he's in, but he's still in a lot of trouble right now.
PuMa's going to have to pull some sort of positional miracle. He's about to lose a key refinery, and now ForGG does have an extreme positional edge. But look again at the big glaring weakness for ForGG. No third base. He is just drilling as best he can on two. This is an atrocious position to be in as PuMa, but it's not an unwinnable position to be in.
Only now just starting that third base a little bit later than we would have expected here, as ForGG just establishing himself a great, great location, slowly inching his way forwards as he still always has that air-dominant advantage. He does drop the scan there to be able to poke away at the tanks, but there's so many tanks here for ForGG that it's going to be hard for PuMa to really break this anytime soon.
PuMa looks like he's going to try to scoot his way forward. Oh, wonderful move. Here comes the scan from PuMa. Where's the scan from PuMa? There, he finally manages to get the shot off and pick off one of those single tanks. PuMa's still trying to make sure he keeps his Thor alive, but here is the one saving grace. PuMa actually has more expansions than ForGG.
Yep, and we even have a sensor tower going down right now to know exactly when his opponent is gonna move out from this location here and know exactly when they're able to, unsiege, for example, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. ForGG is very, very content sticking around here. He knows that his air-dominant position is not really gonna be rivaled anytime soon because of how many Vikings he had out so early against PuMa. So his opponent is always gonna have to drop scans if he wants to make anything happen, but that could be very interesting.
Oh, this is a very nice little play by PuMa. He's actually exploiting the fact that everything's at the front line, trying to do some sort of blue flame Hellion and move around attacks. He's just to make sure not to guide ForGG over to his own expansion.
That wouldn't be the best idea, as for now, though. I mean, how many Hellions do we actually have out? We still have, 21 to 21, so not really too much of an advantage of that in terms of soaking up damage. But again, these Hellions at the front gonna die off to these siege tanks. And ForGG, he's not going to give up this position for a long, long, long time.
Oh, PuMa still not giving up. There's the Blue Flame Hellion drop down at the bottom side. ForGG is about to mine out in his main base. He actually just transferred all those workers. Oh my God. Oh my God. The worst possible timing for ForGG. An incredible win right there for PuMa. Oh my God, if PuMa pulls this win off, it will all be credit to those little pack of Hellions that just ripped down all those workers. It is now 31 workers for ForGG on the map.
Too true. That was a very, very nice victory indeed. PuMa going to be able to even save 2 of those Hellions right now. And ForGG coming back to the front lines here with the entirety of his Vikings. But how does PuMa get out of the situation that he finds himself in? I suppose, again, that third base up to the top left-hand corner, if he's able to get the saturation there that he needs, then that could be a very, very nice way of doing so. And actually, a really nice tank positioning here to be able to shell away at some of these siege tanks on the low ground. So he's slowly whittling down ForGG at this location. But again, it's still really difficult to break.
It's quite funny because this is, again, what we were talking about beforehand, that ForGG has these extremely long mid games. I mean, right now, 1-0 is the highest upgrade for either player. Just tons of tanks, very careful low base versus low base play. ForGG just trying to pick off buildings, find any little edge he can. And again, the starport, oh my God, did PuMa actually get the air lead? No, 18 Vikings out right now for ForGG.
Unless he takes some volleys from those Thors, he might end up eking out that air lead in just a little bit here. But again, he would have to take quite a few volleys. But nice little poke in there from ForGG, able to snipe out one of those Vikings. And meanwhile, he's just SCVing up his third location as well. He's still behind on the SCV count though, 41 right now to the 57. PuMa not letting up too much in that production of SCVs until just now, just producing at that third location. And not at the other 2 to be able to transfer over eventually if he's able to bust this. But look, here goes PuMa.
Oh, PuMa now stepping forward. Oh no, incredible blunder from PuMa trying to step into this tremendous line of tanks. I don't know what PuMa scanned to make him think that he could get away with that. But now it looks like PuMa is going for the only edge he has been trying desperately for all game long, the air edge, trying to get a lead in Vikings, but ForGG, I think, just got the break that he so desperately needed.
Right now it is 16 tanks to no tanks, which is a bit of a bad position for PuMa to be in. How many Vikings do we have out right now as well? 10 to the 8. They're not all fully here in the front location for ForGG just yet, though. So he's going to maybe lose 1 or 2 more than he should do in this engagement. But we actually have the cloak with Banshees on the way for PuMa. And I really like that decision to be able to maybe snipe out 1 or 2 of these tanks, even force scans eventually, if that does come along, if he's able to re-establish air dominance at the front.
And now with all those Hellions cleaned up about the map, ForGG is starting to realize he doesn't need to leave all those units back home for defense. Yeah. He can bring everything to the front line in this small series of air exchanges. We're seeing PuMa about to lose all his workers at his front. Huge shots going down. ForGG has now killed 47 workers. All the tanks literally just walking their way up, and ForGG, after an absolutely insane back and forth game, is finally breaking the natural of PuMa.
It really does show that, I mean, despite ForGG really favoring that very, very aggressive style early game, he's still able to go into a mid-game and get as aggressive, but with phenomenal macro behind it. So ForGG showing a really, really phenomenal game here. The natural under siege from this single siege tank really does seal a very, very brutal deal here for PuMa, and with those Hellions moving forward, it's looking very, very desperate for PuMa.
PuMa now has pretty much no answer. He's going to have to reveal the Banshee, but a single scan is going to just annihilate that. ForGG spots it and will be able to pick it off with a quick 3 volleys. No, it actually escapes the vision range. And now in the orbital command, lift pulling back. If you're in ForGG's shoes, you're wondering, where is this money coming from? There's no doubt going to be a little bit of a suspicious scout coming up from ForGG, if he even needs to. He has now taken down the natural expansion, and ForGG, wow, what a game. I actually thought PuMa was about to pull it back.
Yep, he looked as if he was going to be able to, especially if that third had gone unchecked for much longer. Would have been able to establish himself some nice economy with that, again, as you rightly pointed out, very, very important Hellion poke in with that drop. But again, the unit counts here, 15 siege tanks to 5, 10 Vikings to 0. So massive, massive advantages for ForGG here. He's going to shell up this infrastructure, and as such, no more production going to be going down from PuMa anytime soon.
Wow, 62 workers killed off by ForGG in that exchange, and there's again the lift retreat for the factory, but with too many Vikings there, ForGG is in total control. The only gas ForGG devoted to any late game hints is the upgrade to get to 1-0, and GG! ForGG has brought the series 2-0, 2-1.
Yeah.
And he is now 2-0 in the groups.
ForGG looking pretty good in that last game, gotta say. Really nice decision making. I really do love the incorporation of that macro mech style going into the mid game there by ForGG. And hey, he deserves a win in that series. He really does.
I mean, PuMa and ForGG were both 1-0 in their group.
Yeah.
Before that match, ForGG just winning that game by inches.
Yep.
I mean, it's actually kind of amazing the way that ForGG was up against the double Marauder play, held it off comfortably, then followed it up by a really, really, really clean, contained ForGG. It was looking great, and PuMa just snuck in that expansion. Everything was looking fine and dandy. But gosh, it was that move out attempt by PuMa that helped, or that caused him to lose those chances.
It really was. It really was. So, ladies and gentlemen, PuMa wearing his headset in a very interesting fashion here, as we shall send it over to Artosis and Tasteless, who have a few words to say to us.